Hare Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. When we act in this world, when we live in this world, when we gather experiences from the world, what is the way of our life? Do we act, or we react, or we respond? These are the options. When we react, we gather impressions on our mind. Those impressions become overpowering, and they subsequently become the prompters of our further activities. And this is how it is a self-perpetuating situation where we are responsible for all our problems. When this happens, when we react. Second thing, when we respond. When we respond, what happens? We are functioning in this world in such a manner that all the responsibilities are fulfilled. However, one problem still remains. And what is that? Those people who live their life with great responsibility, take care of their wives if there are more than one, take care of children, take care of all the things very sincerely. And as a result of that, they unknowingly develop a thing called as, I am very responsible. I am not like others. I have done so much for you. See? So, leading a life of responsibility has created more bondage than reacting. I'll tell you an example. This happened in Australia. There was one lady, she had 2 daughters. And as the Australians or any Westerners go, she got divorced from her husband. And then she started looking after the children. And she brought the children up. She did not get married again. A rare abnormality. It happens. She didn't get married. And subsequently, when the girls were broken means what? When they have reached puberty. It's an animal word used for the human beings in the Western world. So when the girls were broken, they got into teenage and started leading their freedom, so-called freedom life. And afterward they got married somewhere and went away from the mother. Now the children, both the girls, they just don't want to be nearby the mother. And as a result, the mother started getting into depression. I have done so much for my daughters. I did not get married again like other people do. I have sacrificed my life only for their sake. And no, nobody wants me. I. See, those who lead a life of responsible existence, they develop this terrible monster in their heart called as holier than thou. See? And such people, towards the evening of their life, they are successfully frustrated people. So, when you react, you create a wheel of karma where you get caught up. When you live a life with responsibility, I don't smoke, I don't eat non-vegetarian, I don't go to club, I don't go to disco, I go to discourse. See? And thus I become stronger and stronger. and again you are caught up. So there is a third technique. So neither reaction nor response. Then what is the third? Act. In acting, you are not responsible nor reacting. Is it not? On the stage, when an actor comes and tells that actress, "Honey, I love you." Do you think he loves? Who will love that stupid honey? You know? So, suffering from HIV, you know HIV? Are you suffering from HIV? Somebody asked me. I said, yes. Really? I said, yes. What is that? Honey in veins. Isn't it? When you are sweet in and out, it is HIV. So you get totally lost on the stage as if it is real. But in fact, it was only an acting. When we live in this world only as an acting, the result is our mind becomes totally purified. And this is what was said yesterday in the 23rd verse. Niyatam sangarhitam aragadvechataha kritam aphala prepsuna karma yattat satvikam uchyate. What is the sattvic karma? The right type of activity. Right type of activity is that which does not create either the reactions or the responsibilities of goodness. That is called as the sattvic karma. This we have seen yesterday. Now the second type. Yattu kame psuna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasamudarutam. Now the rajasic type of karma is first, kame psuna. Rajasic karma is that karma, that undertaking. Karma means undertaking. That undertaking which is prompted by what we like it. Kame psuna. Anything that we do, the first question is what we like it. So when all our activities are desire prompted activities fall in the purview of this rajasic karma. And what will be the result of this desire prompted activities? Either you get your desire fulfilled or you don't get. When you don't get desires fulfilled through your activities, you become angry or frustrated. And when you get your desire fulfilled through activity, slowly and steadily, we develop a faculty called as greed. Whatever I want, I must get. This is what happens with the children of the rich people. Right from childhood, they have never heard a word no. So everything they want, they get it. And when they come to an age where they have to face the life, and life begins with no. And when they are not able to listen to this no, they become totally broken and frustrated. Therefore, that karma, which is the result of desire pressure inside, it is not an inspired performance of life, but it is the compulsion of the desire fulfillment. Yastu kame psuna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate. And this karma is done with a great arrogance of doership. See, we get associated with karma doership before we take up an undertaking. I will do it. You must have seen there are some people. They feel in this world nobody can do anything except themselves. So everything they have to do. As a result, others are happy. Because this you get a bullock. Why work in this world? So, sahankarena. Then, kriyate bahulayasam, the third aspect of this rajasic karma. There are lot of efforts. Bahulayasam, tad rajasam udarutam. This type of undertakings are called as rajasic karma. Now, such people who are engaged in this rajasic karma, they are always extremely disturbed. And when they are always extremely disturbed, they just can't enjoy the bliss of being. Instead of getting the bliss, they get blisters all around them. Because extremely influenced by these rajoguna activities. So yattu kame suna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadraja samudarutam. Now, the purpose of doing karma, if this is understood by us, then our type of undertakings will be different. For example, what is the purpose that we act in this world? To get entangled or to get out of the entanglement? See, it is something like, what for we get married? To get happiness or to get miserable? Do you know, there was a man, he got an information that after marriage, life is like in heavens. So he thought, why not get married? सुना था शादी के बाद घर स्वर्ग हो जाता है. सुना था शादी के बाद घर स्वर्ग हो जाता है. लो, हमने शादी क्या की, स्वर्गवासी हो गए. Now please laugh only in Hindi. You can't laugh in English. In English, when you laugh, that is English laugh. So, whenever we do anything in this world, for what? For becoming miserable? Or for discovering happiness? See? And if our own activities are entangling in us, into our own creation, then we blame the whole world. Therefore, please remember, we function outside, but the creation is inside. And what matters in life is not what you have outside, but what you are inside. That is what matters. See how important it is. Therefore, when this is not understood, that under whose pressure we are living in this world. See, we work for a company or a government. No, government example is wrong. We are working for a company or a multinational. And we go there under the compulsion of discipline. Like, in the software market, job market, they say, at the age of 35, you are burnt out. You have to retire. So, when we are working as a paid labor, we get tired, exhausted. When you are working like the saints and sages, they work tirelessly throughout their life. What is that? It is not the desire. It is the inspiration. Therefore, please remember, success is not the product of tiresome activities. Success is the result of inspired performance. When this is not understood, we are engaged in the Rajasic type of karma. Such people function very dynamically throughout their life. And when they want to write the account book of their own life, what is the balance? Frustration, debts, disgust. मैं क्यों जिंदा हूं? See? Therefore, whatever we are doing, is it under the compulsion of the desire or it is the freedom of inspiration? When this is recognized, then we are selecting the karma in the right way. Now the third type of karma, tamasic karma. Anubandham kshayam himsam anavekshacha paurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattat tamasam uchyate. Now this is one very, very important thing. That karma which is begun without taking into account the following factors. Factor number 1, Anubandha. Second, Kshaya. Third is Himsa. Fourth is Paurusham. So when these factors are not taken into account and we begin any undertaking under the influence of delusion. Now see the three prompting factors. Whether we are performing under inspiration or we are performing under the desire pressure or we are performing under delusion. Three conditions. Now this tamasic karma is that which is being done under the influence of delusion. Now what is that which is not taken into account? First, Anubandham. See, those who have studied Vedanta Shastra, technically they know that there is something called as Anubandha Chatushtay. There are 4 things to be taken into consideration to arrive at the conclusion of the subject matter that is being discussed. Which are those 4 things? First is Adhikari, second is Prayojana, third is Vishaya, and fourth is Sambandha. So what is the meaning of Adhikari? Adhikari means, are we qualified to do that job or not? See? Second thing. The prayojan, the purpose, what for we are doing something. The third thing is subject matter. Do we know something about it? What for doing? What is the subject? And the fourth one is sambandha. Are we in any way related to that or not? When these 4 things are not taken into consideration and we jump into activity, such activities are called as tamasic. Now let us understand the 4 principles. First is adhikar. See, one thing we must recognize in our heart. We must first deserve and then put efforts and get it. Never live in this world to get something out of charity. No. Refuse. We must earn the things in life. We are not getting, as some concession, a reservation, quota, chi. Disgusting existence. Imagine, there is another student who has 99% marks or 95% marks. He is not getting admission. And I am good for nothing. 45% mark. 5% I earned, 40% university gave. Grace. University is graceful, And then I go and take admission. And taking away the opportunity of that intelligent boy. Is it not a disgusting existence? See? We must recognize. If I don't deserve, I don't take it. That self-respect, technically called as asmita. The joy of being what we are. We must be proud of our own being. Then only life is lived. Adhikar. Then, prayojan. What is the purpose? Whenever we are doing something, we must have clarity of the purpose. For example, we go for satsang. What is the purpose? Time pass. Very good. In Calcutta, there is one place, Ramakrishna Mission has got very beautiful auditorium. Big one. And they have got nice AC fix everywhere. And you go there for giving lectures. Always the hall is packed. Because outside it is so hot. So the purpose of going there to satsang, inside it is so cool. And it doesn't matter whether you listen or not. It is subjective. Some people listen by closing the eyes. Some people listen by closing the ears. Isn't it? So, what is the purpose? When we are living in this world, when we are doing something, is the purpose of our activity to improve the world? There are some people who have spoiled their life, therefore they want to improve the world. Those who are failures at home, they get into the social activity. Those who have nothing to do at home, they go into the outer world. Those who have not discovered the bliss inside, they struggle outside to get happiness. See? So what is the purpose? If the purpose of our coming to Satsang is to change ourselves, then going to Satsang is worth. See, one very important thing. When we look into the shortcomings of others, all those shortcomings enter our bosom. And when we see the shortcomings in ourselves, then we take them out. Isn't it? Today while coming, in my dadhi, there was somebody sitting. Because Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. So Meeta was with me. She said, Swamiji, there is someone sitting here. I said, must have come from your head. Isn't it? The moment somebody is found over here, remove it. Is it not? So when we see the shortcomings of others, they enter in our bosom. And when we see our short, we want to get rid of them. This is the purpose of Satsang. So when we go to Satsang regularly, sitting on the same chair, after some time you get your mark and your smell. You know, you must have seen there are people who are so attached to a particular place. They will not like to change. If somebody goes and sits in their chair, they will take talwar and dhun dhanaka zarur. And what they have to learn? Detach yourself from body. Not from the chair. Dhritarashtra. So what is the purpose? See, when I was teaching to the students, we used to have 30-40 students. There was a rule. The rule was, the same student should not sit in the same place next time when I see them. More than them, I was aware. Yesterday you were, get out from here and sit there. Observe. In everybody's house, dining table, everybody's place is fixed. This is daddy, this is mummy, this is this thing, this thing, and now Swamiji you have come. So you have no place. Stand up. How much we get involved. Is this the purpose of Satsanga? So prayojan. The purpose must be distinctly clear in whatever we are undertaking. When this is not known, we are undertaking the tamasic karma, or that kind of karma is called as tamas. Mohat. Under the delusion it is being done. Such people are called as professional satsangi. I have seen, I am not exaggerating. Every time I don't tell lies. See, this happened in Delhi. There is one place, I don't know, some outskirts of Delhi, from Delhi proper, about 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers. So I used to go there. For 15 days I have gone, and on Mundaka Upanishad I was speaking. And in the morning, 6 to 7:30. And all the pillars and the people used to be there. And one day, one pillar was without a person. But the asana was there. Like, when Ramayana Katha goes, one asana is kept. Hanumanji is sitting there, in the disguise of absence. So, That day one new person came. First time. And wanting to see where to sit. And when you get the pillar and back, Brahmanandam Paramasapadam. So that person came and sat near that pillar and nice asana. And thereafter Dhritarashtra came. And then, how dare you sit? It is my seat. He said, but it was not written here, it is your seat. Everybody knows. But I am somebody, I am not everybody. And there I was talking. What? Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samanam Vruksham Parishashvajate. There are two birds fighting for the same seat. And what is being done? Last 20 years I am coming for satsang and I have been sitting near this pillar. You can smell the pillar and me. What is the purpose of our going to satsang? Get attached to the chair. See? Anubandham. So, adhikara, second is purpose. Third is vishay. What is the subject matter that is being discussed? Like I tell you, this happened in Hyderabad. I went to one school and the management of the school, they introduced me to the students. Dear children, today we have got the best speaker and Swamiji knows lots and lots of jokes. And he will tell you a lot of jokes. So, I have come to a conclusion that I have become a joker. I don't talk wisdom, I talk jokes. And thereafter I spoke to the children for about 1 hour. And all the audience, the children, the teacher, everybody was laughing and coiling. And whatever I had to tell in between, I told. When everything was over, again the management stood and said, Swamiji, all the children and everybody is disappointed because you did not tell the jokes. Then I started laughing. They said, why you are laughing? I said, this is the best joke I have ever heard. Then I said, ask the students. I said, hey, come on. Did you enjoy the talk or you suffered? Swamiji, it was fantastic. Were there jokes? Many. I said, hey, Mahatma Ji, what happened? His joke means telling there was a man and there was a woman. Is it a joke? There is a difference between a joke and a wit and a humor and wisdom. See, what is the subject matter? The Swami doesn't come to talk to the children to take the jokes. He comes to inspire them so that they grow into mature citizens by mistake. Nobody grows into mature citizens. So, Anubandham, Anaveksha, not recognizing these facts. What is the adhikar, whether we are qualified or not, whether we deserve or not. Then, what is the prayojan for what the karma is done. Then third, what is the subject matter that is being discussed. Like, in one lion club, after I finish my talk, you must have all enjoyed the most wonderful exposition ever heard in this world. But what I said was never said. Whenever there are too many adjectives, the subject is forgotten. So, subject matter. And then the last is sambandha, relationship. Are we officially required to get involved? There are many degrees like MBA. MBA means what? Marwadi Business Adjustments. Then MBBS, Munna Bhai. Similarly, there is one more degree that is called as ABMM. We are all ABMM. What is it, ABMM? A bhais mujhe maar. We get involved where it is not required. Please remember, if you are clear about the goal of your life, you will not get involved in this world. Now those of you, you have started to reach here for Satsang. If your commitment to come for Satsang is clear, then nothing can hold you on the way. But if that is not clear, hey, somebody is giving a lecture, let us see what he is talking. That means your commitment to the goal is zero. Therefore, sambandha, we must have clarity. If we are required to get involved, then you get. Otherwise, don't get involved. When this is not understood, we elders become a problem to the next generation. We poke our nose in everybody's activity. See, particularly the grandparents. See, grandparents' status is only be happy from a distance. Don't get too close to the children or grandchildren. Let them live their life, let them die their death. You have lived your life, is it not? You have brought up your children. Now let your children bring their children. Don't impose your views on them. But what happens? That dada, dadi, nana, nani, they want to tell everything. Beta, don't get involved unless they call you. See, your life will be totally different. So, anabandham, kshayam, himsam, anaviksha cha paurusham. When these four principles are not recognized and you get into that kind of activity, this is called as tamasic. The anubandham, then kshayam. Kshayam, anaviksha. When we get involved, we have to be very clear. Is it a destructive undertaking or a constructive undertaking? Be very, very clear. Never support, never discuss, never talk that which is a controversial issue in this world. Don't get involved. There is no need. Once in Bangalore, there was a big gathering of youngsters, about 1,000, 2,000, and there was a panel of 3-4 people to answer their questions. And I was one of the panel members. And so many questions so other people were answering. When the delicate question came, they said, now we request Swamiji, because he has not answered any question, to reply. And the question was, what is your opinion about Rama Janma Bhoomi? See, in a public platform, and thousands of people are there. Now nobody wants to talk. So why not make a bakra? But I am also not a kacha guru ka chela. Then I said, started. Look here. There are many issues in this world about which I don't have opinion. Like, whether Devanand should have acted in guide, or in place of Devanand, Kishore Kumar would have acted in guide. I have no opinion. Whether you have taken medicine or you should have taken engineering, I have no opinion. Whether in the lunch today they are going to prepare the sambar and idli, or they are going to prepare paratha and aloo ki sabji, I have no opinion. So they are not understanding what reply I am giving. And when I found that they are totally disoriented, then I said, now listen. Like that, there are many topics in this world about which I have no opinion. And one of the topic is Ram Janmabhoomi. See, we have already destroyed our country under the disguise of construction. As much religion has destroyed the world, nobody has destroyed. So let us not get into those diversities. There is no need. Kshayam. Always be aware whether we are getting involved in the destructive activities or not. When you don't take into consideration, it is a tamasic karma. Anabandham, kshayam, himsam. Then third is himsa. Himsa is that kind of karma which is creating the individual destruction. Kshaya is the total destruction. Himsa is individual. When we talk to somebody, when we discuss with somebody, when we do something to somebody, when we think about somebody, are we thinking in a pernicious, destructive manner, or we are thinking in a creative manner? Anavandam Kshem Himsam, and then Anavikshya Paurusham. Paurusham is our ability. There is one boy in US, I was there, they had to shift their house. So they have called the shifting people. And just to help them, I said, look here Mahatma Ji, this is very heavy, don't worry, those Pahalwan will come and take away. No, Swamiji, I can't do this much. I said, I had done a mistake that I had told you, don't do it. I should have told you that you lift it. No, I will not do it. I always forget that people exactly do the opposite than what I tell. Suppose I tell them, you are Brahman. No. हम कैसे Brahman हो सकते हैं? हम तो बेवकूफ हैं. Sir, you are बेवकूफ. Don't abuse us. We are Brahman. So he didn't listen to me. And then he lifted that bag. And when he came 2-3 steps, slept. And now last 3 years, all the time, belt here, belt there, always tight. He can't bend, he can't do anything. So whenever, every year I go and meet him, Swamiji, I say, let us change the topic. Paurusham, you must know what is your capacity. If you have trained yourself to lift the papad, lift only papad. Don't lift a big buffalo. Therefore, anaveksham cha paurusham. And why this karma is done? Mohat arabhyate karma. Because this is not done under the light of wisdom, or it is not done under the compulsion of desire, but it is done under the influence of the foolishness. Such fools always suffer in life. Therefore, this is the third type of karma. Now, what is the purpose of telling these 3 types of karma? We have to become aware where we are getting involved. Is our lifestyle a sattvic karma predominant, rajasic karma predominant, or tamasic karma predominant? If our life is sattvic karma predominant, there will be more and more purity of your heart. See, Tulsidas ji writes in his Ramcharitmanas, in a quarter couplet, something very beautiful. He writes, Dharmate virati. If you are leading a scientifically proved lifestyle called as dharma, you are bound to get dispassion in your heart towards the conclusion of your life. If you are living very much, looking after your wife and everybody, and towards the end of your life, now you are retired, now you no more have to work. That time, are you still attached? Or you are totally withdrawn, detached? And as a result, do you have sufficient time for yourself to look after your own spiritual welfare? If this is not happening, we were under the delusion that we were living a spiritual life. This is a personal observation to be found out. So, niyatam sangrahitam, are we doing this kind of karma, or kriyate bahulayasam, all the time exhausted, tired and busy and frustrated, or we get involved in the kind of activities which is destructive, not recognizing whether we are required to get into it or not. Let us become aware about this. When we will become aware about this, that is called as living life scientifically. Please, one principle you understand. You must have heard from many people about concentration. Don't get lost in concentration. Concentration will take you away from yourself. Spiritual life is not leading with concentration. Spiritual life is living in awareness. Concentration will take you away from yourself. If I concentrate on Vipul, so I will go away from myself and I will be worried about him. That is not spiritual life. The more we are aware, the more we are nearer to ourselves. With this awareness when we live, we are able to recognize, diagnose whether our life's undertakings are sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. But when we concentrate, I have to finish that job. Now we'll see that it is done. You are going away. After this is done, now we come to the karta, the doer. Now the doer is again of three types. First is the sattvic karta. Mukta sangonaham vadi dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha siddha siddhyor nirvikaraha karta sattvika muchyate. He is called as the sattvika karta, the best among the three, the intelligent one, but not the educated intelligent, the real intelligent one. Who is that? First, mukta sangaha. Mukta sangaha, he who is not attached with the karma, before doing the karma, during doing the karma, or after the karma is done. These are three places where we get attached with the karma. Before doing the karma, it is the arrogance of doership. I will do this. During the karma being done, extremely excited and tense. After the karma is done, regretting I should not have done. Or I have done so much, see what I got. One girl came the other day and said, Swamiji, you tell us, do your best. I have done my best, but I did not get admission. I said, that's good. How it is good? But you said if you do your best, everything will be all right. You have done your best, but that was not the best required for getting admission. So your best and the required best, there was a valley, not a gap. Therefore, mukta sangaha, when we are aware of this fact, are we too much attached before, during or after? And he who is not attached to this karma, he is not attached to any undertaking in life. He alone is functioning from the springboard of inspiration. See, Abhinav Tirthaji Maharaj, who was the Shankaracharya of Kachi Kamakoti Peeth, he has written commentary on Vivek Chudamani in Sanskrit. In Vivek Chudamani there are 581 verses. Now he has gone up to some 400 or odd. And there it stopped. And thereafter he did not. So everybody was offering coaxing. Why not you finish the remaining thing? And he said, even if you read this thing, you don't have to go further. See, no compulsion of completion. In Uttar Gita, when Arjuna asked Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Sir, do you know, before the war, you told me something, it was so nice, so inspiring, I want to again read it, again listen to it. You know, it is like what? Many people ask me to repeat the joke. Swamiji, that joke you told, na, please tell me. It is such a pathetic offer. It is not a song that you can repeat again. See? There has to be a proper reference to context. Then only the joke has a meaning. Otherwise, it is, two useless fellows coming to say, sir, you tell one joke, I tell one joke. Ye koi antakshari hai kya? So, mukta sangaha anahamvadi. When we are no more attached to any kind of undertaking, then how do we function? We function under the influence of inspiration. So when Arjuna told Bhagavan Sri Krishna that I want to hear that Bhagavad Gita, will you please tell me? Bhagavan says, shut up. I don't repeat twice. Only once. See? This is the greatness of Mahatmas. No second time, the same thing again and again. So, mukta sangaha, unattached. And then anahamvadi. Anahamvadi means what? He who does not have the illusionary understanding about himself. What is our understanding? Wrong understanding. Without me, how the world will move? See? I don't know, Swamiji, what is going to happen to my children, my wife, my business. All of them are so responsible. I don't know what is going to happen. I am worried about that. I said, they are also worried. What for? Why don't you go? They will do better than you. I'll tell you one example. There is a couple. They have got 2 children, son and daughter. And when brother and sister are in the same family, they are non-stop fighting. Then they are real brother and sister. Those brother and sister who don't fight, there is something wrong. So they are constantly fighting. And this couple was wanting to come for one of my camp. They said, Swamiji, we wanted to come. We were supposed to get my parents to look after the children. And the elder one was in 11th and the younger one was in 9th. So how to leave them alone and all that. I said, why do you make your children bonsai? Let them grow. Don't underestimate that they can't live independently. Give them a chance. Okay, Swamiji, when you say we will come, they came. And after 5-7 days when they went back, the first statement from the children, now our tragedy begins. So 7 days they lived very happily. I said, look here, you had an illusion that without us, how the children will live. On the contrary, they were very happy. One day, when husband was going to the office, and the tiffin was little getting, he said, don't worry, I am getting late, and he was running, he has to catch the bus. But the wife was more smart. She also came with the tiffin, and while getting into the bus, he gave her, darling, take this. He took it. I thought at least today I will have good food. Ahamvadi, we imagine without us the world doesn't move. On the contrary, please remember, we are the most unwanted creature in this world. When we were not in this world, there was nothing lacking. When we will go from this world, there will be no lacuna. See? Ram has come, gone, leaving a problem of Ayodhya. Isn't it? Then Krishna has come. He who could not protect his own Dwarka, is he going to protect you and me from this government? Forget about it. See, this is the nature of this world. Nobody is required in this world. With this understanding, when you live cheerfully and happily. Not all the time. I remember one day, one press interview, they published in some newspaper. And that girl was asking me a question. I said, enough. Last question. I said, okay, last question. The question was, how do you want to leave your footprints in this world when you leave? I said, first of all, you are going to die, okay, not me. No, don't take it otherwise. I just want to know. I said, do you know who can leave footprints? He who walks in mud. I said, when a bird flies in the sky, there are no footprints left. Those who want to leave footprints in this world, they are muddy. Mud island. See? Live in this world to leave this world permanently. Yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. The more you understand this, then only that ego, I can do, nothing is required in this. Anahamvadi. Now, when these two things are said, not attached, no ego or arrogance of doing, then that means, is it a life of a disgusted, frustrated existence? I have no interest, because too much of detachment. No interest in wife. She comes, honey, let us go for a movie. What is there to see in the movie? A boy and a girl. You and me are there. Then they go somewhere. We are here already. Then they fight. Let us start. What is there to see the movie? Is this the life of this Sattvic Karta? He has no attachment. He has no zest. I will do it. So is he leading a life of disgusted dropout? No. The teacher says, Dhruti Utsaha Samanvita. His life is an embodiment of inspiration. And inspiration doesn't die. Dhruti. See, Utsaha. Utsaha means living every moment 100%. See, our condition is, even if we have to laugh, as if uchki lagdi. See, even if you have to talk to somebody, I don't know whether I should talk or not. I should. Let us open our mind. Let us not have any kind of obsessions, inhibitions. And when you come out in this world with the purity of your mind and the purity of intention, you will never be hesitant to live in this world. Therefore, it is very much emphasized in our scriptures. Those who are excessively goody-goody and too much of namrata and dangerous guys. See? It is said, Ati Vinayat Dhurta Lakshanam. See? Life should be Utsaha, with inspiration. And what is inspired living? Be very attentive. Whatever you do, or you are in whichever place, at whatever time, you are fully available. Complete availability is perfect inspiration. When an artist is drawing a unique picture of his life with all inspiration, he is so much one with that he forgets everything in the whole world. And when he looks at his own creation, he is surprised. Hey, I don't know. Is it I who did it? Such an inspired performance is never repeated. Therefore, the Sattvic Karta is Dhruti Utsaha Samanvitaha. And his inspiration is not limited to a particular type of activity. But inspiration becomes the springboard of all the expressions of life. So when you have this inspiration, you will be an inspired husband. When you have inspiration, you will be an inspired wife. You will be an inspired teacher. You will be an inspired listener. Isn't it? How important it is. Then when we have no inspiration, is there anything to eat in this house? A perspired husband, watch. Then equally perspired wife says, eat me. Then the husband says, you know, we are Vaishnava. How can I eat you? Because whenever I eat anything, first of all I do bhoga to Bhagavad. Where will I keep the tulasi? Is this life? See, inspiration is that catalytic agent in your personality, because of which Every role that you play, you outwit your own performance. That is called inspiration. Utsaha samanvitaha. And when that utsaha is not there, then the Hindi filmy songs are born. गम उठाने के लिए मैं तो जिए जाता हूँ. And what you do next? हर एक को गम बांटते फिरता हूँ. हरे राम 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 राम. This is somehow has crept in the spiritual field. I was in one place, and after my lecture was over, that person told me, Swamiji, you make our Upanishad, Gita, everything so cheap and so light. It is no Shastra. It has to be studied seriously. I said, when I give the lecture, please come and see 105 degrees centigrade. Please remember, Bhagavad Gita was delivered by Bhagwan Sri Krishna with a smile on the face. He was from UP. Isn't it? When he is born and brought up in that Mathura and Vrindavan, naturally he can't speak properly. Can't speak So when he delivered the whole discourse, Prahasanniva Bharata, he did not, Arjuna, I am serious? No. When somebody is miserable, you don't cooperate. You bring him out of his misery. Otherwise, somebody died and you go there and that fellow is crying, then you also start crying. What happened? I am waiting when you are going to die. See? Dhruti utsaha samanvitaha. Now second thing, dhruti. Dhruti is to maintain the ability to maintain your inspired mood in spite of everything in this world. That perseverance of remaining inspired in spite of everything around. That is called as dhruti. We are, there was a great king, Bhartruhari, and he has written 3 centuries of shlokas. And in 1 century, he has mentioned that there are 3 types of people who think about the possible obstacles in any undertaking and never begin. The second type of people, they are extremely inspired to begin with, and after a little bit, they drop it. I think I should change something. And the third one, the more the difficulties come, the more inspired they become. So Sattvika Karta is the one who is not afraid of the difficulties, but every difficulty inspires him to bring out the best. And this is possible only when we are functioning under the influence of inspiration, not perspiration. So, Mukta Sango Nahamvadi Dhrutyutsaha Samanvitaha, then Siddhi Asiddhyoho Nirvikaraha. When can we remain inspired? And what is the meaning of inspired existence? What is the meaning of inspired performance? We remain inspired only when we are fully available in the present. If we are disintegrated, something of the past is bothering us. There was a doctor and he was to begin the operation on the patient. And the patient was telling, Doctor Saab, this is my first operation. I am very afraid. Doctor said, don't worry. I am also afraid because my first operation failed. Now really, now that doctor who is carrying the load of the failure of his earlier operation, he will be expert in failure because he is carrying that load. An inspired person, be very attentive, is the one who has learned from his failures. Then alone you can remain inspired. But instead of learning from our failures, if we collect the data of failures, and then, see, one child got up in the morning crying, hey, Dad, hey, shut up in the morning, like your mom is tired. What happened? I dreamed. What you dream? I failed in the examination. In the dream also you can't pass? Isn't it? If not in actual life, at least in the dream you pass. So when we are wanting to maintain the inspiration, means what? Inspiration is not excitement, please. Inspiration is creative ability with freedom to bring out the best in us in every situation. That is called as inspiration. And this can happen only when we are fully available to whatever we do. An inspired person is ever available. An inspired person is never tired. An inspired person alone is able to motivate others. See, the work done by Swami Vivekananda. How many years he lived a creative work? Hardly for 15 years. And even after his departure, millions are still inspired. Friends, inspiration is not an archaeological finding. Inspiration is an experience of the present. And when we are thus living with inspiration, and inspiration means living in the present with complete availability, and this does not wear out. Therefore, dhruti samanvitaha, perseverance with inspiration. Such a karta is called as sattvika. And this is possible, siddhi asiddhyoho nirvikaraha. This is possible when we are no more projecting about the possible future failures. No. Don't start with the wrong note. You just imagine. So many people out, no, I don't think I can, I worry about it. Such people cannot do anything. Those who have got guts, they have the ability to go and explore. Don't stop exploration in your life. Then only we can achieve something higher. Otherwise, like everybody born, like everybody grows, like everybody dies, we fall in the same category. Sasyamiva martyaha pachyate, sasyamiva jayate pura. Like the grass we are born, like the grass we perish. No. Dhruti utsaha samanvitaha siddhi asiddhyoho nirvikaraha karta sattvika uchyate. Such a person who is no more overpowered by the failures or the success. He is ever inspired. Never mind. Go ahead. He is called as the Sattvik Karta. Then comes the next type, the Rajasic Karta. Rajasic Karta is Ragi Karma Phala Prepsuhu Lubdho Himsatmako Ashuchihi Harsha Shokanvita Karta Rajasaha Parikirtiraha. Rajasic Karta means what? That person who is extremely dynamically involved in this world. But his involvement is unlike the Sattvik Karta. How is his involvement? First, Ragi. Ragi means he is extremely attached to whatever he does. Please remember, involvement with inspiration gives you freedom to withdraw. Involvement with attachment snaps your freedom difficult for you to withdraw. And those who can increase the speed of the car, but they cannot stop the car. Imagine what will happen to the car. See? Therefore, both of them, an inspired person also function with all dynamism, and an attached person also performs with all dynamism. But the basic difference is, an inspired person, he is never caught up in his own creation. But an attached, arrogant, rajasic person, he is caught up. Ragi, then karma phala prepsuhu. And what is the fuel which is triggering the action in this rajasic karta? Is karma phala prepsuhu. His attention is all the time on the profit lines. How much I am going to get? Projections. To tell in your language, a sattvic karta is he who has a clear-cut exit policy. A rajasic karta is he who has only the profit policy. That's it. There is no question of exit. So, ragi karma phala prepsuhu. Then, lubdaha. Lubdaha, he who does not have any limit for getting the things from the world. Friends, please remember, we have to draw a line. Thus far, not further. Then only life is lived worth living. Otherwise, whole life you go on working, earn, and you don't have even time to take one cup of tea comfortably. What for? Therefore, lubdaha is covetousness of the highest order. Then himsatmakaha, and such people, to achieve their goals, they don't care if they have to kill others. Himsatmakaha and ashuchihi. Ashuchihi, he is extremely dirty externally and internally. And harshashokanvitaha, and such a karta is all the time buffeted by, sometimes extremely happy, next time extremely miserable. Such people are so erratic, you can't trust them. The other day, one person came and told me, Swamiji, I want to come and help you. I said, but I don't want help. No, don't, but I want to help. I said, okay, I'll tell you. No, you have to tell me right now. Now see, slowly you know the character of that person. I said, I told you, I'll tell you. No, not like that. I won't leave you. You have to tell me. I said, okay. Go and don't come again. No, Swamiji, you always cut jokes. I said, this is serious. This is not joke. No, when he went, there are other persons. Swamiji, why did you just discard him like that? I said, this person, he is good. He has got great love for me. But he is not worth trusting. There is a difference. Love is different. Trust is different. You can love dog also. Isn't it? But you can't trust everybody. You can trust only the one who is stable. The one who is erratic, you cannot trust. So here, he is harshashokanvitaha. Sometimes extremely happy, and hoo, coming and hugging and kissing, and I can do this thing, that thing for you. Next time, suddenly erratic behavior. Harshashokanvita karta, rajasaha parikirtitaha. Such people are extremely moody, and their mood fluctuates with the your share market. So all the Dalal Street addresses fall in this category. Harsha Shokanvita Karta Rajasaha Parikirtitaha. Now the third category of the Karta, the doer, our description. Ayukta prakrutaha stabdaha shatho naishkrutikonasaha vishadi dirghasutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. Here one word Bhagavad Krishna has selected by great choice. First, ayuktaha. Ayuktaha is extremely disorganized. Whenever something is to be done, one thing is done, other thing is spoiled. Okay, I'll do that. When the second thing is done, first thing is undone. Ayuktaha. I remember there was one person who came. Swamiji, I will organize your room properly. I said, my room is perfectly alright. Don't touch. No, don't worry. So I went to take bath and got about half an hour. In that half an hour, room was organized so well that I did not know where is what. I said, where is that recording machine? Which recording machine? I said, now I have to go for my lecture. I don't know. I said, you organize? I organize. What you have done? I have just taken the whole thing and dumped below your bed and put the things on it. Wrong. Ayuktaha. Such dumb karta. Then second is prakrutaha. Prakrutaha means not Sanskritaha. He doesn't have any understanding. No culture, no tradition, no ability to learn from others, no readiness to change oneself, and following the same old methods of living, and that alone is right. Prakrutaha. Friends, please remember, never stop your process of learning in life. Keep learning. The moment you stop your learning process, you will be highlighted and deleted. It is required that we remain fit in today's world. And therefore, no prakritaha, then stabdaha. Bhagavan Shankara writes in his comment, stabdaha means dandavat. Dandavat means like a pillar. There are many people who don't feel like having any respect for anybody. Whenever I think of this topic, I remember in Haridwar, I read one thing very beautiful. I finished my bath in Ganges, putting my clothes, then it was written, हमेशा अकड़े रहना मुर्दों की पहचान है, आदब से झुकना जिंदा दिली का नाम है. देखो कितनी सुंदर बात. This can never happen in English. Ayukta prakrita stabdaha shataha. Shataha is the one who has got very bad intentions behind any activity, always thinking the wrong approach to every problem. Shataha. Then Naishkrutikaha. Naishkrutikaha is always creating obstacle for everybody. He himself is not able to never mind, but the other person should be disturbed. There was a person, he was coming from Virar. He asked his friend, hey, are you going to Viti? Yes. Can you do one thing? Can you get me this thing? Yes, I can get, but now I am not going. Why? Because you want that. This is called as Naishkrutikaha. The one who is working only for destroying others. And Alasaha. Alasaha, he who has no charm in his life when he does anything. Alasa means absence of lively participation in life. What is the lively participation? Whatever we do, it must be a celebration. Never do anything in life half-hearted. How are taking? Yes. How is the food? What food? The one which you ate on 30th of February? I don't remember. No charm in life. Such a person who doesn't have a charm and participation. Where is it for meditation? Meditation, what meditation? He will progress. Therefore, alasaha, let us learn to take full interest in whatever we do. That ras should be there. Rasik bhai bano. See? Alasaha. And then Vishadi. Vishadi is the one who is permanently complaint box. About everything there is a complaint. Anything in this world he is not spared. Such a person from Dombivali, he died and went to the Yamaraj. Yamaraj said, welcome to my kingdom. How do you like this kingdom? What? There are no mosquitoes here. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om.